Okay, so we are actually now recording this meeting and streaming it on YouTube. So if you have to drop out or anything, this will be available for you to watch later. And I welcome everybody here in our community Treasury governance call weekly Thursday session, where we will talk about everything related to the upcoming vote that's going to happen in IOTA, where the community should decide over the outcome of a quite bunch of tokens that might be used or might not be used for an upcoming IOTA treasury. We have, as always, a little agenda for today. And most of the time do it the same like this. I'm gonna give a little bit of an introduction and a recap where we are at the moment and how voting in IOTA will work, how the system will work that is designed for the Firefly wallet, how votes will be counted, and what important topics you need to know as a voter to participate in this vote. I'm going to talk again. I did it last week already, but I wanted to bring it up again because still there will be some new people coming in to clarify a bit about where those tokens actually are coming from, because there has been some miscommunication also from our side about the origin of this more than 50 TI pot of IOTA tokens. And so it's always good to clarify this so everybody is on the same knowledge and knows exactly what we are talking about here. Some latest Firefly updates, but it hasn't changed much since the last week. So it's mainly going to go through again a bit of the flow in Firefly, show you how the design will look so that everybody already knows how voting will work in Firefly. And then I thought we might want to talk about what would happen if the vote goes for build, and maybe we would be able to create, if the community wants this, some little working groups or task force that already thinks about a bit ahead what should come after the vote, how could a potential treasury system, a grant management system as a DAO work in IOTA, and maybe somebody wants to engage there. And so always feel free to talk about that and let your ideas flow. Good. What else? We are actually, yeah, good. We are really nice and full. So let's continue. And first of all, give those of you that have not been in the recent calls and have not been following this process so closely, a little bit of an overview of what we are doing here. So we are talking here since June 2021 about a potential vote in the IOTA Tangle to decide about an amount of tokens that has been left over since the beginning of the IOTA project. And now it is up to the community to decide what should happen to those tokens. You will have two different options to choose in the first vote. So you can decide if either these tokens should be burned, which means they will be removed from the IOTA ledger and they will not be accessible anymore for anyone. And they're just going to be gone, vanished. And the second option would be to use them to build something that the community wants and needs for it, to support the ecosystem with this, use it as grants for projects, actually all kind of stuff that the community wants to do with it would be possible. This vote will happen pretty soon in your Firefly wallet. So the vote will be based on IOTA tokens and on the amount of IOTA tokens that you own. A vote itself, the cool thing is that most of you hopefully are now already staking. And so if you have a little bit understood how staking works, you should also be able to understand how voting works, because actually from the principle it is exactly the same thing. A vote in IOTA using the Firefly wallet will be executed by sending your token balance that you have sitting in a wallet to yourself. The same process happens as if you stake. And during this sending to your own address again, um, the information about what decision you have taken in this vote will be attached to the address, to the tokens that sit on this address. And so after you have executed the vote, your tokens will still reside on the same address as before, but there will be a little note attached to them that says, okay, this address chooses option burn, and the other address chooses option build, and so on and so on and so on. And the counting of the votes will be done by the Hornet nodes in the Tangle. So all Hornet node operators can track those nodes in the Tangle, and they can deliver a valid result if they follow the instructions that we lay out for them how to participate in this voting. What also is important for you to know is that we also require something that we call kind of a holding period, or a time um, for how long you need to hold your tokens on this address while voting to generate more votes. We do this to avoid some kind of a possibility of some attacks, that somebody could just use a huge amount of capital, buy a bunch of tokens somewhere on an exchange, use them for a vote, and half an hour later send them back and sell them again. Yeah? Of course, they still you can never avoid this totally, but by requiring voters to hold their tokens for 10 days in a vote to reach their maximum voting power, this of course inherits quite a big risk for somebody that wants to influence the vote, because in this 10 days the price of IOTA can go everywhere. It can also crash, and so it is something that would avoid a bit the influence of people that aren't invested in the project really. So they would just want to trick the vote by buying in and influencing it with their cash that they have. Okay. Yeah, so it's gonna be your voting power, your voting weight will build up over time. Think about, again, same as staking. When you start to stake, you start with just a couple of assembly and shimmer tokens generated from your IOTA token balance. But over the time, you generate more and more tokens. And the same thing happens with voting. Over time that you keep, you are generating more and more votes. Actually, every 10 seconds, you will add votes to your count. So similar like it happens in staking. Also interesting and important for everybody to know and to remember, staking and voting will not influence each other. So when you are already staking your tokens, you can participate with the same tokens also in voting. You don't need to stop to stake. You don't need to restake or anything. You can just use the same tokens that you already are using in staking for a vote. And it's the other way around the same. If you are voting and you want to initiate staking or stop staking, this will have no influence on the other side. So voting and staking are two completely separate things that you can do with your same tokens and the same balance without having influence to the others. Like I said, the counting will happen in the Hornet nodes. If you are a Hornet node operator, you will be able to participate in the public counting. and we really would love to have a lot of node operators to do this, to have a more broader and more better validated vote count. And the more node operators that participate in this counting, the more secure and the more sure that can we be that every 100% correct. Um, to do this as a node operator, you can do it actually in your Hornet dashboard. There is the participation plugin, and the only thing that you will need to do as a Hornet operator is um, to upload the so-called event for the vote before the vote starts, and then you will be observing the Tangle, and you will be able to count the addresses and you count the votes on the addresses, and you will be able to produce a valid result that in the end we can compare with all the other nodes, and you will see actually that very hopefully all the nodes in the Tangle will produce the same result. Um, we have different time frames for you as a voter. So let's say like this, well, there will be a time when Firefly is ready and the closed testing and everything is finalized. And then we will announce the day when the voting starts. We call this day, this is when voting will be open. And from this day on, you will have 7 days time to execute your vote. So you will have 7 days time to make your decision and cast your vote for either the one or the other option. Um, after the 7 days, there will be the counting start. And the counting will last for 10 days. Yeah, so this is the period where we require you to hold your tokens on the address if you want to reach the maximum possible votes for your tokens. Yeah, so you have 7 days where you can decide what you want to do. You can also change your votes during this time. You can start it, stop it, whatever you want, doesn't matter because the counting is not yet happening. The counting starts exactly 7 days after the voting starts, and from this time on, you can still change your vote, but everything that is counted will be counted. And so you best would be that you just hold these tokens for the 10 days and then you will reach the maximum possible votes for your tokens. Um, this is mainly the important things for you to know. Yeah, so it will be a total time of 17 days, 7 days where you can decide, and then 10 days where you just have to wait until the final results um, will be counted and we can publish the end result. The cool thing on this voting system that we have developed for the Firefly wallet and the Hornet is that it's agnostic to proposals. So this is something that can not only be used for this one vote, it is something that afterwards can be used for all kind of votes in the IOTA Tangle. So whenever somebody thinks he wants to do a voting based on token balance in IOTA, this will be possible to do. It will be possible to use Firefly wallet and to create own proposals from the community or from a group of community. The only thing that you will need is a couple of nodes that implement the counting for those proposals, and then voters they will have to manually add this proposal voting into their Firefly wallet. It's going to be really easy to do. The wallet will have a nice UI where you can actually just upload a link or a file, and then you will be able to participate in other votes that are community based, or maybe also the IOTA Foundation will from time to time. So that's a pretty nice feature that we will have from now on in Firefly. This is to visualize it again a bit. So how the counting works, defined, or the community has defined that. Um, oh, I should. This is actually wrong. So actually, 1,000 IOTA tokens, so one key I counts for one vote. So I should maybe update this graphic. Yeah? So whenever you every 10 seconds, for every 1,000 IOTAs, you will get another 1 vote counted to your result. Yeah? And so over the time, with every milestone, you will build up votes. And if you do this for 10 days, you will reach the maximum possible votes that belong to the token, the amount of tokens that you hold. Okay, so this was my short go through the vote. Has anybody any questions, please? Yeah, so if you never heard about it and you absolutely have no idea what I'm talking about now, just ask. Everybody happy?
Yeah,
Okay.
don't be shy, folks.
Yes. I mean, yeah, anybody else got a question? Now's the time to ask, right? These meetings are to make sure that everybody understands everything.
And there are no dumb questions. We do this every week, and it's like, but I mean, most of you potentially can to just type your questions, and then we can just read it out here, and we can answer it. Okay. But anyway, if nobody has a question now, I want to continue to the next point, which would be a little clarification regarding the tokens, the more than 50 Ti, which is quite a nice amount of value that is sitting here, and these tokens actually are coming from the really early first days of the IOTA project. So the IOTA project was kind of formed, like thought through in 2014, 2015. It started everything in a Bitcoin talk forum, chat room with the original founders throwing out ideas about this new cool project. The Tangle and everything got introduced, and some people got interested, and they had the chance to be kind of like early investors in the project and um, uh, to to buy in with Bitcoin and also with 2 other cryptocurrencies that nobody of you today will know anymore. So they could deposit Bitcoins and got promised, okay, as soon as the IOTA network will get launched, you will get an amount of IOTA tokens for the Bitcoins that you give us now. And but a condition for this for to receive the tokens was that you have 90 days time after the network was launched to claim your IOTA tokens. Yeah, so it was clear. You give bitcoins now, and once the IOTA mainnet is live, you will have 90 days. And if you don't claim your tokens in this 90 days, yeah, it's not a good luck. Nearly everybody did this, of course.
May I ask a question?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
It's the first time that I raise my voice now in the chat.
Yeah, please.
What I'm interested in is whether the legal basis is quite clear, and I would like to know which law we are following for saying, well, you didn't claim your tokens for that time, and now
Yeah.
we are allowed as community to decide. That's what I'm interested in.
Yes. I mean, so I'm not a lawyer, but of course, the IOTA Foundation has a lot of good lawyers, and they have looked into this. So there is in nearly all jurisdictions worldwide, there are periods defined. Um, if you kind of purchase something, there is mostly a 3 years period, um, and kind of after this 3 years period, your claims on a purchase are invalid. Yeah, so theoretically, if you buy a car, you pay the money to the car dealer, but you never come to pick up your car. After 3 years, the dealer can sell the car to somebody else. And this is in nearly all jurisdictions worldwide very similar. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, depending a bit on where you are. It's not really clear which jurisdiction is there, but it could be Finland. We also could use Germany. So in nearly everywhere, also US, in many Asian, Singapore and things, it's pretty clear. And so this is actually, if you look into timeframes from where this token's origin, it is all now over 4 years since these events have happened. And so there is, from the opinion of the IOTA Foundation lawyers, no valid claim on those tokens anymore available, and anymore, there's no legal uncertainty that this is actually a correct way of doing things that we do. Does this?
Thank you.
And also
Because
the IOTA Foundation has processed reclaims from people who showed up late. I think especially in 2017 with the first real bull run, a lot of people showed up and reclaimed their tokens.
Yeah.
And you, even after the mainnet upgrade, you still had a chance to reclaim your token for 90 days, I think it was.
So actually, instead of only
happened before my time when I was part of the
yes. So actually, instead of giving only this 90 days time period, the founders and actually it was important is that actually the IOTA Foundation has not really something to do with these tokens. So the IOTA Foundation as foundation has never been any contract partner of this, and has also never hold any of those tokens that are now up there. Yeah, so this has actually only been held by the initial founder, and but they had people still got the possibility to claim their tokens also from this initial crowd sale until actually 16th June or July, no, 16th July 2021. So until let's say 7 months ago, they had time from December 2015 till then. So this was even an extension of the legal 3-year period, because kind of like, yeah, but it was clear that there needs to be one point where there needs to be a cut, and so this was the decision to keep this open until July 2021, and everything after this is not possible to claim anymore. And this was, like I said, even longer than it would have been needed from legal side to keep this going. Yeah. There was this one event, was actually people deposited Bitcoin, but actually never this time. It was really kind of, it was this crazy time in 2015, 2016. Projects were popping up everywhere, and so many people did this. Yeah, they throw $500 in this project, $500 in this project. They did this to 10, 20, 15 projects, and one or two you got lucky and they got successful, and the other two the other 10 they just vanished. And this was maybe really similar. A lot of people, they just stopped following the development, and they just forgot that they deposited a couple of $100 in IOTA, which now today, of course, will be worth a lot more. But to this time, it's mostly people didn't deposit millions to this. The whole collected money of this supply that was on sale during this time were under 500,000 US dollar. And this was the whole 2.7 PI IOTAs has been sold for less than $500,000. So this is not that people have sold their house and deposited it. Mostly they deposited $500 in Bitcoin, maybe $1,000 in Bitcoin, something like this. Yeah. The second event was after the mainnet has launched in the beginning of 2016. There was the the need of because it was kind of really, it was very, very beta software, and it was a running network, but it was not traded on any exchange. Nobody could buy IOTA tokens. It was just the network was just running in the nodes, and the people could exchange it over the OTC trading and things like this, but it was not listed on any exchange. And the initial they started with a different supply, and for whatever reason they wanted to have a cool ternary number, and so they increased the token supply from this 999 billion to the 2.7 blah blah tera IOTAs. And so the people also had to exchange their actually old IOTA with the old supply, and for every of this one they got kind of 2,799 new IOTAs. And also for this exchange time, there was also a reclaim phase. So you had, I don't know exactly if it was 90 days, but it might be similar. You had a time frame where you needed to exchange your old IOTA tokens for new IOTA tokens. And also from this, haven't followed the process and have never showed up again. And also from this process, there are tokens left over. And so these two events make up the 50 or more than 50 TI tokens that are now up for a vote for the community. We bring this up because there were some miscommunications and misunderstandings, because there has been some other periods later in 2017 where there has been some very popular mbug, kind of the signature transition from curl to curl, and there has also been reclaim periods and reclaim things for these events, but these have nothing to do with the tokens that we are voting on now. And these reclaims are actually still being processed and still paid out. Yeah, so this is just something that we wanted to clarify, because it was not really clear in the blogs until now, and so we thought better to bring this up again and to clarify everything. Yeah. Yes, and just to be sure, there was actually the IOTA Foundation itself. It didn't even exist at this time. I mean, the IOTA Foundation was initiated and came to life in 2017. So all this stuff actually happened before even the IOTA Foundation existed. Good. Yeah, more questions to this or to the voting or anything? Really feel free to come forward if something is unclear still. Greg, do we have anything in the chat, or is it all fine?
Sorry, I had a frog in my throat.
No, or if anybody sees any questions popping up in the chat,
I hadn't seen it. I'm looking now. There hasn't been much. Yeah.
No, all cool. So what else? I mean, should I go through the Firefly voting flow again? Has anybody interest to see how Firefly will do the voting?
Go for it.
Okay, that's good. So I will. Now I have to remember that I have to switch the tab before I start talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Pilo, do you know how many tokens are basically still on the curl signature scheme? Does IF has
there
this?
is
Because I'm actually not sure if those could even be migrated to Crusaders.
I don't know the exact number, but yeah, there is a record of this, but it's also not small. It's, I think, as far as I heard, it's a similar number. So there's still also something like 40 or 50 TI from this time. Yeah, but I don't have it exactly. Okay, so
could
now
you look into this, because I've already seen a lot of questions about how many, because like we are looking at on the Crusaders network, how many tokens have been migrated yet, and we are really wondering how many tokens could theoretically still be migrated, because at the moment we have blah 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 89.3% migrated, but
I think
plus 2% are our 50 Ti.
Yeah. And I think it's another, so it's around 100 Ti that are still kind of unclaimed. Something around this. Yeah. So 50 from 50 that are now for the vote, and another 50 from later claim periods.
Also, I doubt you have the exact number of IOTA, because I heard it was once 65 tera IOTA, then like David spent 3, and now they are 62.
Yeah, and the thing is,
there is 63.
So there's actually one big reclaim still open, which is actually in the processing. And so this is actually, so depending on when we do the vote or whatever, so there's one pretty big reclaim that will very likely be paid out, and this would actually reduce then the tokens from 60 something down to something above 50. So that's quite a big reclaim of 9 Ti or something like this. But this is still in the processing and in the, there's like legal and whatever involved, but this is still
in the confirmation process.
Yeah. And so once this is through, so this is why we, it's not sure if it's going to be 60 something or 50 something. So this is why better be safe and have these tokens definitely ready for a potential payout. But this is not yet 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually now I have switched my screen. I think you should see now the Firefly wallet.
Yes.
Okay.
I do see it.
So I give you a short run through how it will look in Firefly. So this is the new Firefly layout. Actually, what you will see, I think it might, it definitely will come with this this next change, is that Firefly will change something in the account layout. You might know that in the moment you have a Firefly profile, and under the Firefly profile you have several different wallets. And like now with staking, actually you everything will be handled under one profile. And you have different wallets, but you can click and unclick and things like this. Firefly will change this, and Firefly will go to a wallet view. So everything you do, you always do per wallet. So staking you will do per wallet, and also voting you will do per wallet. And so this is, they will change the sidebar here, and you will here actually in the top you will have a possibility, a drop-down menu where you can switch through your different Firefly wallets, and then you will have to do all the actions inside this wallet. So if you have 5 wallets, you will also have to do 5 times voting with every wallet separately. We will get a new tab here in the sidebar. This is a whole tab only for governance. So this is the one that you have for staking, and they will add another tab for governance. You will have a little information. You will see your voting power. And so actually the voting power is coming from your token balance. This is actually not my token balance. It would be nice if it is, but it's like sadly not mine. And also it is just nobody's, it's just like wireframes here. And then you will see this is actually a hard-coded for the first vote. The Treasury proposal will already be included in Firefly. You don't have to do anything. You just upgrade your Firefly wallet, and then the Treasury vote will already be implemented there. But also there will be, for later, there will be tabs for different other proposals that will coming from the community or for whoever, and you will see your voting history there. And I think this would be look like this. So this is actually later. So whenever we have a few more proposals running in the Tangle, you will have this the thing where you see, okay, there's a proposal going. You will see in which phase of the vote it is, if it's counting open or if it's already finished and something. And this is how it's gonna work. And so actually then if you click on one of those proposals, you will see the votable options. You will see, you will have a little time frame where you see where you are. And this is actually the different different possible timeframes that we have. So announcement means the vote is already known to Firefly and also known to the votes, but you're not able to vote yet. Yeah? So voting open, this will be the time when the 7 days start. And so this will be a 7 days time frame, and then the counting will start, will be a 10 days time frame, and then the results will be finished. So this is actually only for the announcement. As soon as the voting is open, so you click on here, view proposal, you actually will have the possibility to vote. What you see is your voting power. You will see when counting will start, so how many times are still for you to make a decision. You click on an option here, then you will have to confirm this, of course. Yeah? So you confirm that this is your decision that you are doing, and you will have to put in normally your stronghold password, or you have to confirm this with your ledger, and then you have casted your vote, you get a confirmation, and then you will see, okay, this is actually my selected option, this is what I have been voting. And that's it, because in the moment there is nothing counted, so actually you will have to wait here until Saturday the 4th, until the counting of your vote actually starts. And in this time frame, you can do whatever you like. You can stop the vote, you can change to another option. This won't have any influence on your final results for the counting. Yeah, so there will be, of course, the possibility to stop and all this stuff. Nothing super complex, really also very, very similar to staking. Once we are in the counting phase of the vote, so actually the nodes are registering now that you have been voting and you are counting votes. You will see it here, and then you will see your total votes counted already. So normally there will be a bar menu here. And what you're also going to see directly is the total result of all votes currently counted. Yeah, so you will have a live result of the whole tangle at this very moment. And you will see this is in the moment the result, how votes are counted. Also here you can initiate the vote, you will confirm your vote, and so on. And yeah, so then after you have voted, you will see, okay, you are voting for this option and you have already counted 2,000 votes. You can stop your vote, but when you stop your vote, you will have to be aware that the votes that are already counted for you, they stay in the tangle. So they won't be removed because you cannot change the past. So what has been counted is counted. So if you stop or if you change your opinion and you want to choose the different option, you can only influence the future with this decision. But what has been already counted in the nodes will stay there. And so you cannot change this anymore. Good. And so then you will change the vote. And actually, this is the thing. So like I said, you can even really vote for both options. Yeah, you start with build and then you say, no, I don't like it anymore. I changed my opinion during the vote, and then you vote for burn. And then you will see you have totally 10,000 votes casted, but a part of this is counted for build. And a smaller part, because you just have switched your opinion, has been counted for burn. Yeah? So you will theoretically be able to vote for both options, and your votes will be counted accordingly. What else? You might notice also from staking. So if you during this 10 days or during the 7 days would receive fresh tokens in a wallet because you buy some more, you will be able to merge this into the already existing vote. Yeah. So Firefly will tell you, hey, you have some unvoted funds there, same as it does with staking, where you get recognition that you have funds that are not yet staking. Here you don't have, you have funds that are not yet voting, and so you can just select this and you will be able to merge your funds, and these funds will be added to your already existing vote. But of course, the counting for these extra added funds will only start as soon as you execute this merging. This is actually, yeah, and once the vote is finished and the counting is over, you can directly see in your Firefly wallet the results. Yeah, you will see this, it's going to be the winner, and you will see the final results and how many votes total have been counted in the network for either the one and the other opinion. What else? No proposals. Yeah, this is just extra stuff. Nice dark mode, of course, but this is actually all the same. But this is how voting will work in Firefly. Nothing too complicated. Very, very much aligned with the flow of staking. So we wanted to have it really user-friendly, and so most of you should be already aware with the way things work. Okay. Let me. Any questions to this? Anything unclear? You want to see something again or see something more from this flows?
Yeah, it's looking good to me. Guys, feel free to.
You've seen it
chime in,
already.
you know,
You've seen it already 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you know, really, folks, if you have any questions, concerns, you know, let's give Philo a break. He's been doing a monologue, so ask away. Don't be shy.
Did Holger just confirm the fourth?
I did what? What did I confirm? I didn't really understand it. Maybe I did. I don't know, but I couldn't.
He wanted to know if you confirmed the fourth. Yeah.
No, actually, you have to look. This was 4th August 21. So this was actually our. This was not even our planned date. On August 21, we didn't have any idea about how this would look in Firefly. This was just
no clue.
random dates. Okay. If there are no more questions to the Firefly flow, one thing I wanted to bring up would be really, I don't know if somebody has interest to talk about this, but let's assume the community would vote for build. What happens next? There's a huge amount of work to do if the community would want to use these tokens in let's say a grant funding treasury that supports ecosystem projects, that supports builders, that supports building of apps, of bridges to other ecosystems. There's like a million things that can be done with such an amount of funding. But to do this, we need a system that is community governed, that is able to decide on who should get what and when and how much of these funds. So there needs to be a system of votes. There needs to be a system of proposals. There needs to be a lot of other things, actually. I made a little thing here. So this is some thoughts that things that definitely will be needed for such a system is there needs to be a governance structure. So we all have to think about how exactly should decision making in such a system happen. Do we want to continue use just IOTA tokens? Do we maybe want to implement a different voting method that gives different voting parameters, influence in the voting, maybe identity, other things that are interesting and maybe possible to do, especially as soon as we have smart contracts, because you will have to see this system can really only go 100% live once we have working smart contracts on mainnet, because to govern these funds in a decentralized way and to have not a single entity control these funds, we need smart contracts working. And then we can have a smart contract holding these funds, and this smart contract will then need to get instructions from votes, from decisions made by the community, what should happen with those fundings. So we need people that think about a governance structure. We need people that are clean and knowledgeable in accounting and in finance in general, because of course such a huge amount of tokens needs to be very good protected, and everything needs to be documented and stuff like this. there's a lot of tokenomics involved, because maybe these tokens will be used for staking. Maybe the treasury will be able to acquire all kind of other tokens. The treasury might get airdrops or grants from projects that kick off, and all kind of things. So might be possible that the treasury would have to handle several different assets. Also, there are some important things like diversification in a treasury. Yeah, so it might be useful to hold not everything always in IOTA tokens. You might want to have a part of it in stablecoin, whatever, to make this less influenced by, let's say, the market volatilities and things like this. Of course, we need builders that build the smart contracts and that take care about the smart contracts for this. We might have people taking care about the legal side of the things, if and how we would form a legal entity for such a treasury DAO organization, and all other things. Yeah, communication, people that take care about how these grants will be proposed, managed, project management. It's also, there's like a billion things to do, and it would be great if people would be interested in helping the community in doing this and taking some ownership, or just devoting some time of their and also some expertise. If you do this already and you have some knowledge in those things, as from finance or whatever, would be great if we find some people that want to get engaged in this project, and then we could form some working groups. And of course, we will support and help. I mean, this is something that I've been doing the last 9 months, researching all possibilities out there, looking in hundreds of different projects out there that do similar things, how they build their treasuries, how they form their governance structures, how they come to decisions, how do they vote, how do they distribute their treasuries, what are they doing with this. This is actually my main field of research, and I'm happy to give all this knowledge and this information to people that want to get involved. But it would be great if we find a couple of people, the more the better, that would really start to work on those topics and to propose some ideas to the community, because then we can have some votes and we can let the community decide, hey, we could do either that, or we could either go this way, and this for us looks like good. And then we could really work out some proposals of different possible ways such a treasury could work. And then we can really let the community decide what they want and what the community deems best. Yeah? But it's all open, it's all free and flexible, and everything is possible. But we need a few people that do it, because otherwise it will end up that the same people continue to do the things that are doing it in the moment. I have no problem with this, but kind of always happy to share the burden with as many people as possible out there. Yeah, so thoughts on this?
Yeah, it needs to be spread out. It's best not to have the same people doing everything else, because it seems a little centralized from that perspective, right? Absolutely. So the more people we can get from the community to be involved, it distributes. It just helps get rid of that notion. And I know one of the we've been talking about this so long, right? So that's a little bit of the challenge in what to get people to step forward, right? The closer that we get to this, I think maybe we should probably put together like a spreadsheet with these categories and maybe list it somewhere so that people can just put their name out there. It's not a
it's not a
must. It's not going to be something where they have to. It's a must do, but just we should put a list out there so we can maybe looking for finance people, people that understand economics, tokenomics, DeFi, and risk management, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's all these things need to be.
That's a good thing. Yeah, just put your name up there, that you kind of would be available or would be interested to participate. That's not a
Where should we
commitment.
put this list, Philo?
We can first we can make a channel where we can we could make a public Notion page or
I
something
would like
like
to have a list, like a spreadsheet or something,
Yes.
so you just put your name on it.
Yeah.
Something where it's not one permanent location, so that people can put their name in there as a possible.
I mean, we could
like a
just
country matrix or something.
Just something not highly detailed, but just something so that you don't have to like scroll through it through never-ending discussions or channels on in general just to get to it, right? Pin it or find a location for that.
We can keep it simple. We can really just start with maybe a Google Doc or a Google Sheet or something like this. And people can just put up their Discord handle there. And if we see we have a couple of people together in a certain topic, we can start open a channel here or a thread actually, ping them there together, and then we can start talking about certain topics. We can share some links, share some ideas, share some knowledge with each other. And so that would be a great start. And we pin it here in the Discord, and we regularly remind people to look into it and put their names up if they're interested. Can maybe also already create some channels here that people can start if they have questions. Actually, what is tokenomics and what?
Right.
So we would be available to give some first insights of what might be required and things like this. Yeah, I just wanted to really kickstart this discussion here, and because it's actually, I mean, we're saying this all the time. It's going to happen soon, but it's really going to happen soon. And then we will have a decision, and then we will know if we can seriously work on such a project. And that's going to happen pretty soon. And so everybody that has a couple of time over the next months,
one thing I like to stress is, some people saying, well, I don't know exactly when this vote is going to happen, or, we don't even know if it's going to pass or not, right? So why would I spend my effort and time on this right now? And I'll just tell you, what Philo and Antonio did with the Pioneers Group basically launched a whole new area of learning for me. It's fascinating. It covers all aspects of business, governance, tokenomics, just everything. So if you are interested in DAOs or tokenomics or any of this thing, you will learn stuff that will add value to your life if this is the space you're in. So it's not a zero-sum thing. You're going to take away stuff that you'll be able to apply in your business, your life, or in your trading or whatever it is. So it's worth doing if you have an interest in this, even if the vote was never, even if the build thing didn't happen. It's a worthy thing for you, in my opinion.
Even if we wouldn't get the build vote, we would just do it anyway, because this is not the only treasury that we will have. Think about Shimmer, think about Assembly. We will have treasuries, we will need to manage treasuries, and this is something, if you are interested in crypto, and this is, I mean, most of you are here for a reason in IOTA and not just to spend your time in the voice chat with us. So if you're interested in crypto, there's so much stuff to learn, especially if we're thinking about smart contracts, DeFi, all the things that will come up over the next couple of months. And so it's just like an amazing field of knowledge and amazing stuff. And we should really, as a community, start talking about all those things, not just, this is
we
stuff.
Have to get it going now. We don't want to start. We want to start. We don't want to start cold once we get a decision, right? So
that's and like I said, even if this vote is not, there's so much to learn, and we will have decentralized finance. We will have all the things that the others are doing currently, and we're just like, we're maybe waving our heads and things like, oh my god, this is crazy. Be aware and be prepared that in a couple of months, all the things will start in IOTA. There will be hundreds of projects popping up. And if you don't know what, either can just stay completely away from it, but if you want to participate in it, it's good. And we have to learn together as a community how to handle those things. And this project here is just
we have to educate each other.
Yeah, and this would be just really a kind of a prime project for everybody that wants to gain more insights in how actually DLTs, Web3, and actually the world in which we are tipping our toes works. The more, if you have some who don't want to only spam cat gifs in spec, which is a great thing to spend your time, but if you are interested in seriously helping this project, helping the community to achieve something amazing, really reach out, and we will have an amazing time. Like we did it with the DAO Pioneers. It's an amazing, just an amazing group that came out of this initiative, and we will continue this and we will extend this into the community to talk about all those amazing stuff that is possibly soon gonna happen on IOTA.
Yeah, I'll just want to add one last thing. Don't, like, if you feel like you don't know anything about this stuff, that's not a problem.
No.
You know, come and try it. The only way you'll know if it's a good fit for you is for you to get engaged, and there's no shame in trying something and saying it's not for me, or it's beyond my capabilities or time commitment capabilities, right? But just give it a go. This isn't like you're signing your life away. You're not signing a transaction. You're just we're looking for people to get involved, get knowledgeable, and for those who are really into it, this is going to be like an MBA class.
Yep.
I mean, we are literally learning about all things that you would do in an MBA program. So it's very cool from that perspective.
But you know that looking at me, I'm no lawyer, I'm no finance guy, I'm no technician in like programming. So me, I'll be clear, I'm law enforcement. So, and I really don't contribute to our community stuff. So I don't really know what I can bring to a group like a DAO.
You will be quite surprised. Yeah. So you're involved with law enforcement. So you will start to see the flow and the thinking, and you will find a place, right? Just making sure, like governance structure. How should we design how people should behave? What should we do as a community? How should we shape it? How do we want to pay people? How would those people get paid? Are we going to invest in DAOs that are of all natures, or are we going to just invest in things that are environmental impact? All those types of things are what I would call non-specific, but you can contribute to. But you just find out that every experience that you have in your life, you can find something that you can contribute your life experiences into this. That's the beauty of DAOs.
Yes.
Absolutely. So give it a go. There's communication, there's legal, smart contract, and everything else that's listed here. There's a whole lot more. There's way more.
Yeah. And you really don't need to be a professional anything for this kind of. I'm not
yes,
great. We are all not professional whatever things, kind of. We haven't studied this stuff, but you can learn a lot and you can contribute in all kind of different there's so many things, community, and most of the things that are happening, it's about how people interact with each other. And if you understand people, like, I mean, if you work in law enforcement, you are confronted every day with all kind of human interactions, and this is all what is about in those things. We are humans, we interact with each other, and we have to understand how we interact with each other, how others react on us. And we are in a pseudo-anonymous internet world. It's very difficult to get proper communications going and things like this. So it's like a ton of things that everybody can contribute to something.
I can imagine just from law enforcement. I mean, you would probably have experience on looking at how people might try to scam the fund, right? And so forth. Insights like that, so that we can actually put, protections in place. The whole idea is that understanding what could possibly happen, and then we can put it into code. You don't have to code it, but developers will build what they're told to build, right? So that knowledge transfer on what they need to build is secret sauce. So, you have way more value than you think.
So would it be possible to kind of create like a first step of, hey, these are sort of, and I like that bullet point checklist, maybe that's it. I don't know if there's more, or there could be something a little bit more concise of saying, hey, we need these people with these specialties, or this is just a governance, and then people can kind of tag their name, regardless really if they have experience or not, or they could tag their name saying, hey, I have experience, or I don't have experience, but I'd love to get involved in this and learn this. And kind of might be just a first step to see who's interested, how many people are interested, which might give us a good idea of, wow, everyone's interested. Okay, this is going to be a really big community involvement. Or, hey, we really only have 5% of the people interested, and maybe we can just develop teams in that sense and team leaders and whatnot.
Yeah, this was the idea.
Could that be a first step?
This is actually exactly what the idea was. Yeah, that we just gather everybody that's kind of finds this sounds like an interesting topic. Put something together. We give a little bit of explanation what it actually means or what it's behind, and then people can just put themselves up. That sounds interesting. I want to know more about it. Or they can say, okay, I'm kind of pretty firm in this. I've studied economics or whatever, and I can be a useful expert in it. And then we can really sort out. And then if we have some people that have expert knowledge and others not, then automatically we will have a knowledge transfer going, because those experts, they can maybe, if they have a time, they can maybe do a 15 minutes talk about stuff like this. We're gonna open some chats, and we're gonna share a lot of resources there. Yeah, and so this is how we can start.
So on Greg's thing about creating a spreadsheet, like, can someone be tasked to create that spreadsheet so then people can add their names to that? I don't know if anyone wants to volunteer or take that on.
I mean, I can do this.
I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents here, and sometimes what is underestimated is that we might be too much into the topic that we're talking about, and having fresh eyes or someone that is more of a layman and reads that and gives us feedback before we publish that is so valuable. You should never forget that. So even
you are so right.
What we do and telling us, hey, I do not really understand it. Can you explain it differently? This really changes the point of view and helps the ecosystem grow. So do not forget, just being able to read and give feedback is wow. So don't everyone if you can contribute one way or the other, in my opinion.
Totally agree. So getting back to what you were saying, where we need to get a list together, a spreadsheet, and put it up somewhere for us people to do. I mean, if nobody wants to take it on, I can create a spreadsheet, but I mean, anybody else can do a spreadsheet? I mean, because I'm a little bit busy.
Collaborate on that with you.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'll also jump in. I just have Philo maybe create a document and we can collaborate on that. So I'll help.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be great. It doesn't take. It's not a big like. We don't need to put a lot of detail on this. We just say, hey, look. We already have a list here. We could just have a brief description on what we think the responsibilities are. I can contribute. I can add to that. Philo can add to that. Antonio can probably add a little bit because we're all advising DAOs now. I mean, we kind of know a little bit about what each sentence is. But then just have people sign up potentially to be potentially involved. Pretty simple.
Just a mention on the police officer too, I mean, I guess from what I've seen on like Twitter, where you see someone that has no expertise, but they literally are just social media, and next thing you know, they're on like MSNBC as an expert reporter But I think the reality is we can look at this as a side gig in a sense. So if you have a full-time job, but you can give a couple hours a week, if we do this for a year, and as we see where the Web3 is going, where DAOs are going to be the main thing, there's going to be just as much as there's a lack of crypto, social media, crypto developers, etc. Eventually, there'll be a lack of DAO participants and governance and organizations. And if you can come to the table and say, hey, yes, I've been this job full time, but I'm part time. I've done this, and kind of here's my resume, and they can go and look at your history of being involved in a DAO like this. I mean, it's going to give a lot of. Pretty soon, maybe in 3 years, you could be retiring and just running Web3 DAOs and moving on from your previous careers. So again, just to go on what everyone else was saying, it's just doesn't mean your career is specific to this, but we can create it and learn and then become an expert in the field 2-3 years down later, possibly. So
yeah, the beauty thing about this space and DAOs, right? They're a whole new way of working and leveraging and it's all about what people do and not what their positions are, right? So it's not you grab the ball and you run with it, and there's nobody going to stop you. There'll be maybe consensus vote between those conversations, but in general, DAOs are about doers. A DAO doesn't work if people don't do anything, right? They live on that. So the doers, we need the doers. We need the people that want to contribute and aren't worried about their egos or building a position of power hierarchy or anything like that. So there's no CEOs, right? We're all equals, and we're all just contributing to building a very cool place for us to collaborate. And there can be a future even with this. I could envision where the people that contribute to this, and if the DAO comes to be and there's a treasury, that the people doing this work can get a stipend and get paid to do it, right? This doesn't have to be volunteer work. So just to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. I got a bunch of meetings, so.
Greg, thanks a lot for taking part in this again. Yeah, and I really can just say for all of you, all the words like Greg said it, we need the doers. Everybody can contribute, and it really doesn't count what you have learned in your normal life and what you have studied. It's like where we are in the moment, it will offer so much opportunities for people. We are in the offspring of a whole new ecosystem in IOTA. There will be hundreds and thousands of projects popping up, and those of us that are early engaged
hey guys,
at this time. Yeah. Hello, we had a question.
Yeah, no, just a comment. I just got disconnected and reconnected, so I didn't get a chance to just say a couple of things. I just wanted to share, just based on the comment from the law enforcement gentleman, it touched a nerve for me. So coming from a non-technical background, it required me to get involved, and having that little bit of knowledge allowed me to bridge that little bit of knowledge with the people that knows nothing about IOTA, nothing about smart contracts, or they're just basically, regular Joes. And so it was hard at the beginning, but then little by little, by educating ourselves, we can bridge that gap. And in the process, with the class that was just mentioned, for the formation of DAOs and the IOTA pioneering community, we can actually discover things that we have never seen an angle. And we can bring up our best potential to actually do something for the community. And especially for law enforcement, it's been extremely difficult to talk to actual policemen about, say, crypto getting stolen. And there are some organizations or even enterprises out there that charge thousands of dollars to recover a stolen crypto. And so if you have already a little bit of knowledge, then you can actually help your own comrades, your colleagues, to understand that there is a gap, there is a void that needs to be filled. And so if you make the first step, you are on the right track.
All good words. Okay, guys, I'm out.
Really true words.
Have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. So excellent.
Do you know where this? Do you know where this spreadsheet will become available when it is available?
I can. In problem, I just do a basic scratch, and because we have this public Google folder which is available for everyone, and everybody can just go in it. I'll post it in the governance channel, ping it there, like governance discussions. Just post it there, and then it will be in a Google Drive, and everybody can access it, and then can just add names or can edit it or can add categories or whatever. Feel free to use it and to design it so that it suits best for everyone. I can actually maybe in a half an hour I will have it spinned up as a basic thing, and then everybody feel free to contribute to it and extend it to so how it is useful for everybody.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. Any more questions? Anything to add for now, or? Okay, so then let's give it a go for tonight.
Yeah, I really see it as a at least from my perspective, a very good educational experience. Like these fields are gonna grow and grow. So yeah, I'm gonna find it very very educational.
Yeah. One thing also, this is maybe interesting because we do this with DAO pioneers, and we have engaged with Bankless Consulting, which is a really amazing DAO in the Ethereum ecosystem. They're pretty popular. They do masses of education. They produce podcasts. They produce articles. They have their own radio show and stuff like this, and they're very, very knowledgeable in DAOs and in all the things. And we will have them in our ecosystem, and they will do some workshops for the community. They will create some content and things like this. And this is also going to be a great experience for everybody that wants to learn. Going to make this stuff all public with them, and we get them involved. Also, that our community can learn from them in this regards. And so this is, we're gonna extend this learning experience for everybody that is interested and that wants to learn and participate. There will be masses of cool stuff coming up. So really just get into it. Don't be shy. Put your name on the list. Engage in the channels here from time to time. There's so much knowledge created already out there. There are so many resources out there. I have like a huge library and list and bunch of stuff. I can bomb you with articles and podcasts and everything about all these things for you have to read half a year, but we can also do it much better by just working all together, educating each other, having a lot of meetings, having a lot of sessions like this, maybe a bit more interactive, where we just chat to each other and talk about topics. Yeah.
Exciting times, to say the least, I'd say.
Amazing. So from my side, I will now stop the recording and really thank you everybody for participating again. Next Thursday, we will meet again, same time, same place for the next meeting. And also, if you wanna, in between, we have the DAO Pioneer meeting for if you're more based in US, that's gonna be happening on what is it? It's Monday evening for US people in the DAO Pioneer channel. We're also going to have a chat session of an hour about all kind of DAO stuff. So really just hang out in these channels, see the resources that we post, take part in the discussion, And really thanks a lot, everybody, for showing up today again. And see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.